running out of time in Ubarak. How far are we from the exit?
Not far. We have entered the Upper Kingdom. The exit should lead us to the base of the glacier itself. However, there are still hidden traps and pitfalls to account for.
Take cover! Office! The entire passage collapsed. There's no time to dig through this. I'll have to move quickly and find my own way out. Hopefully Anubarak and the others survived. This is more like it. Finally. I'll be singed if I get too close to those flames. Ah, at last. I'll need this gold for when I reach the glacier. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. More of the Nerubians' blasted mechanisms. I'll have to time this perfectly. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Another quake? Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Ah, at last. You will know endlessly. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Ah, at last. Your pain shall be legendary. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. Ah, at last. You will know endlessly. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Ah, at last. I must find a way across this strange obstacle. At last. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Finally. At last. Anubarak, you made it.
I see now why the Lich King chose you as his champion of night. Few men could have survived this labyrinth alone.
What is it now? This is more like it.
Another earthquake. We must hurry, Death Knight.
For the Lich King, you will know endless torment. At last. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Something's breaking through. Defensive positions!
I'll consume the living and the dead.
Speak. Finally. At last. Finally. At last.
Speak.
Tread lightly. Your pain shall be legendary. What is it? This is more like it. Tread lightly. At last.
We're running out of time. We must find the exit.
This is more gold. This might help us later. No one orders me around. At last. This is more like it. At last.
They're blocking the way to the exit. We'll have to fight our way through them to reach it. The summons.
What is it now? Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Frostborn hungers. Your pain shall be legendary. This is more like it. At last. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it.
Time is fleeting.
Tread lightly. At last. What is it now?
My might cannot be matched.
No one orders me around. What is it now?
Speak.
Speak, fool. This is more like it.
Time is fleeting. Indubitably.
No one
I
orders
have
me
heard
around.
the summons.
Speak,
Time
fool.
is fleeting.
At last.
Speak. Now quickly, head through that door. The exit to the surface lies just beyond.
It'll be good to see the sun again.
Remember, Illidan and the true battle still await us in the world above. Hopefully our trek through the Dark Earth bought us the precious time